I want to turn to the Middle East and the fallout from the death of Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar. Today, Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin discussed what might happen after a ceasefire agreement is reached between Israel and Hamas. If that were to happen, Austin says the U.S. could quite possibly play a role in the stabilization of Gaza. Do you agree? How involved do you think the U.S. should be in the stabilization of Gaza?
Well, look, before we can even get to that, the fastest way for this conflict to end is for Hamas to surrender and release the hostages. We have 7 Americans still remaining in captivity, 4 presumed living, 3 deceased. They must be released immediately. Obviously, Israel is still under threat from Hamas, from Hezbollah, from Iran. And from my vantage point, we need to continue to support Israel. We should not be calling on them to prematurely enter into some type of ceasefire agreement. And ultimately, we need to make sure that they have the resources they need to defend themselves. And we need to crack down on Iran and the illicit oil trade between China and Iran that has funded this entire situation. Iran has increased Iranian petroleum sales by almost $200 billion in the last 3.5 years. That is what is funding Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, and other terror networks in the region. And so what is critical in this moment with the death of Sinwar is to get Hamas to surrender and lay down their arms and release the hostages. Obviously, long term, in order for there to be a 2-state solution, in order for there to be peace, Arab majority nations need to accept Israel's right to exist, and they need to normalize relations with Israel. That's why I, along with Richie Torres, passed the special envoy for the Abraham Accords. We need to get Saudi Arabia to normalize relations with Israel and other Arab states to follow. That will make it easier to deal with the situation in Gaza and the West Bank moving forward. Obviously, it needs to be an Arab-led solution in Gaza. It cannot be American-led or Israeli-led. We should certainly support the effort to rebuild, but it has to come with concrete plans, including Saudi Arabia normalizing relations with Israel.